All right. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We come in and week out to prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great, also known as the United Snakes of America. All right, to wake up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Speckled Bird, to get you to repent, acknowledge your offense, pray for forgiveness, and get back in order. All right? And the famine of the word is upon us. All right? And a lot of you reject Yahushua. And we're going to go into that. All right? But first and foremost, and as always, all praises due to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim HaKadosh. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, the elder bishops of GMS, and all the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. And shalom, and salutations to all the brothers up pushing the word, truth and in sincerity. All right. The hopeful elect tabernacle of David. I don't know where shalom came from. This is the book of Luke, St. Luke 10 and 16. There's red letters, that means Yahushua is speaking. He that heareth you, heareth me. All right, well, we're out here speaking the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And what he said was we're speaking on behalf of him and his Father. It'll get to that, but we are the mouthpiece of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua out here. So when somebody says, well, God came to me last night and told me this, well, that's not the way it works. When God kills somebody, guess what? He uses his sword to do it. When you understand who his sword is, right? The devil, Satan, right? The Edomite, the so-called white man. When he does that, and you understand that, that means you're at a certain level of understanding. All right? People think they understand God and they don't. All right, brother. What's that, Colt 45? I'm fucking with you. What time you done? I'll go get a 12. Okay, I'm gonna come back, me and you. So, yeah. That's Ishakar. But, we're out here speaking the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Yahushua is the word. He's the embodiment of the word. The Bible is the word. Okay? Yahushua comes in the volume of the book. All right? We're going to get that. Let's finish this. Luke 10, St. Luke 10, 16. He that heareth you heareth me, and he that despiseth you despiseth me. And he that despiseth me despiseth him that sent me. Hey, you can't, from the top down, you can't despise the elder apostles. All right? Lest ye haply be found to fight against the Most High. You can't despise the elder bishops. You can't despise the camp leaders. You can't despise your brethren. Okay? You can't despise the elect. You can't despise this truth. You can't despise Yahushua. You got people standing on the corner, right? Breaking down the scriptures, right? Passionately or diligently even, week in and week out, in season and out of season, right? But guess what? If you don't understand that the MOTB is the C-hip, guess what? You despise Yahushua. Because a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. Right? Is that not right? Isn't that what the scripture says? Yes, it says that. Hebrews 10 and 7. Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O power, O God. So if Yahushua comes in the volume of the book, and here it is, that the MOTB is the C-hip, right? And some of us know that. Why? Because we learned it. We are assured of who we learned it from. The head of Israel. All right? And if you don't know that now, you will know it. And some of you know it now, but you're just fighting against the Most High. You know it. And you're being really sneaky, trying to sneak your way back in. Nathaniel 7's greatest hits. Starting with Ain't No Microchips is the song of the 2/3. The greatest hit of the 2/3 is Ain't No Microchips. Okay? But now, the lead singer of the old song, right? The MOTB is Sin. That's the old song. The MOTB is Sunday worship. The MOTB is Christianity. The MOTB is an embargo. The MOTB is sleeping with white women. That's the old song. You're supposed to be singing unto them as it were a new song. Okay? And the new song is the old song. Correct. The correct interpretation. There's no interpretation. There's just the truth, and everything else is a lie. Okay? Yahushua comes in the volume of the book. So if you get one thing wrong, and this one thing, it's not just a small thing. This is a big thing. All right? This is the last stumbling block. It's going to clear out a whole lot of people. Either you get on board or you're fighting against Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Simple. Galatians 5 and 9. A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. What does that mean? NLT. This false teaching is like a little yeast that spreads through the whole batch of dough. Woo! All right, let's apply that to the MOTB. Here it is. You got your garment on. You got a t-shirt and fringes on and a gun on your hip. Making us all look bad. And you happen to know that the MOTB is actually the C hip. Guess what? You're still wrong. You ain't supposed to be out there with a gun on your hip. You're supposed to abstain from all manner of evil, all appearance. Abstain from all appearance of evil. We're going to have to get there. All right? You got one thing right, but you got the other thing wrong. Nowhere does it say, take your sword out to the highways and byways. Yeah, but sell your coat. That's leaven. You got the MOTB right, but you insist on taking out a sword. Yahushua said, put your sword away. Where's your faith? Okay? Didn't say don't have a sword, but bringing it out to the camp and flashing it, that's leaven. All right? You were that close, but a little leaven, right? Leaveneth the whole lump. A little yeast, this is NIV, a little yeast works through the whole batch of dough. NLT, this false teaching, you're teaching men to do so. You're teaching more and more right here at the end. So here's the question. That's kind of agent-like behavior, is it not? What happened to the Black Panthers? Well, what they did was they came out and they scared a lot of people. Why did the Black Panthers scare people? Well, because they took guns and brandished them on some Capitol building or some shit like that. That's what got the attention. Then you got the NFAC, the clown troop, right? What happened to the NFAC? All right, let's go back. Go back to the Panthers. What happened to the Panthers? Well, they got infiltrated. Did they not? COINTELPRO infiltrated. Well, what happened to the NFAC? Were they infiltrated, or was a leader, was a black messiah chosen by J. Edgar Hoover? Okay. Well, that ain't Israel. Well, let's look at Israel. You got kids in fringe t-shirts out with guns. What questions are we supposed to ask? We're supposed to spiritually discern through what? Through history. Right? All we got to do is look back a couple of decades. Well, what happened? Well, these guys were infiltrated. Well, these guys were set up. What did J. Edgar Hoover say? If you get a black messiah named Grandmaster J, guess what? We put him there. That's the wrong way to go. Clearly, that was a sign. The Most High gave a sign. Look, don't do this. Here's what happens. Now, suddenly, out of nowhere, and not out of nowhere, you got the Dagger Crew, right? The Dagger Crew wants to show their daggers. You choose a name like the Dagger Crew, and then you come out with daggers, and now you've inspired a bunch of kids in fringe t-shirts to come out with daggers. Crazy. We can't help but question, right? Yeah, you know all the precepts, and you know, and you're famous. Okay, but guess what? Let's get it. Things that were written aforetime are written for our learning. St. John 18 and 11. Then Yahushua said unto Peter, put your sword into the sheath. Shall I not drink the cup which my Father has given me? All right, brother. There it is. And of course you're going to go sell thy coat and get 2 swords. Who said that? Did Yahushua say that? So I can bear with me. Sell his garment. Sell your garment. Slocky. That is Yahushua. But see, here's where you got to bring in that discernment. Luke 22 and 36 in the red. Then said he unto them, but now he that hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip, and he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. For I say unto you that this that is written must yet be accomplished in me. And he was reckoned among the transgressors, for the things concerning me have an end. And they said, Lord, behold, here are 2 swords. And he said unto them, it is enough. Now, if you have discernment, Okay? You got two things. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You got two things. A nigga, what is a nigga going to do? What is a nigga? A nigga's going to do what? You got Yahushua saying, put your sword up. And then Yahushua is saying, get you a sword. What is a nigga going to do? He's going to split it down the middle. And he's going to make a choice. What's the nigga going to choose? He's going to choose no faith. Sword, no sword. What does no sword mean? It means you're putting it in the hand. Who's going to fight your battles? You? You're going to overcome the Most High's sword. You see? Are you going to choose spiritual or non-spiritual? Are you going to choose faith or carnality? Are you going to choose what you learned in the world, niggerdom? See, you know what? It's a lot of niggas claiming to be in the truth. This is what I've learned. This is what I've learned after years of being in the truth. A nigga loves being a nigga. And a nigga believes that being a nigga is going to get him onto a chariot. Somehow. When here it is, you are a nigga in the world, and then you're presented with the truth. And what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to become a new man. What does that mean? That means no more niggas. That means no more nigga. And see, a nigga is proud. There's that word. A nigga is a proud nigga. Like Charleston White. What's his name? Charleston White. He's a proud nigga. And see, any nigga is like this. I can out nigga any nigga out here. And then you bring that shit into the truth. You're trying to out nigga other niggas in the truth. Instead of, right, unniggering yourself. See, because in the world, to be a square, right? What is considered to be a square, right? That's bad. This is Black Culture 101. To be a square, right? They got many names for it. Oh, you talk white. Oh, you a white boy. Somebody said that shit to me in the truth. Oh, you a tear. Oh, you a Edomite. I am. I am. A lot of things were said about me years ago, right? And those things, let me assure you, okay? There's no way that an Edomite can catch the hell that I done caught in this thing and still want to be out here. If the spirit of Edom is on you And you done caught that hell. It's easier to go out into the world to be an Edomite. First of all, that makes no sense. But a nigga will pull some shit like that on you. In the truth. It's amazing. It's amazing to see some of this niggerish shit. Right? A nigga, right, will be in the truth and say some abominable shit like Israel is all black. That is the epitome. And a nigga is about a motherfucking dumbass. Let me say that too. Okay? And that's coming down from Yahweh Shai. A nigga is a motherfucking dumbass. All right? How can it be that you got a Hamite standing next to an Israelite? You can't tell them apart. Right? Is the Hamite an Israelite too? Or which one is and which one isn't? The Hamite got a better chance of being an Israelite. Why? Because he looks like Judah. See, the capacity for intellect in a nigga. A nigga hates intelligence. A nigga is groomed when the devil created his monster called a nigga. He created it. He said, let's take all the intellect out of this project. Let's have our project scorn intellect. So if he sees his brother is slightly intelligent, he'll want to kill him. Not congratulate him or to learn or to emulate him, but to equate that with being white and therefore hate him. Right? And this is what we have today. A nigga revels in ignorance. He revels in it. He bathes in it. Like a pig basking in some mud on a hot day. A nigga loves niggardry, right? And you can see it in Israel. You see niggas trying to bring niggerdom into Israel. And try to be blacker than you. I'm bringing black culture into the truth. I'm finna rap, right? A nigga will turn around and say because you like or listen to rock and roll music, right? What we created, right? That you're somehow being white. Oh, you listen to that white boy. Last time I checked, the white boy ain't created shit. This is the ignorance of a nigga. Oh, you being a white boy, because I listen to rock and roll music? You mean something that we created? Or is that you just trying to be better than the next person? And using ignorance to be better than somebody. I'm more ignorant and black than you, therefore I'm better than you. Where the fuck did that came right out of How to Make a Nigga Handbook? what is it? How to create the perfect slave? What the Willie Lynch letters? That came right out of the Willie Lynch handbook. Let's get niggas to glorify ignorance and to vilify anyone who had an iota of intelligence. And look around and Willie got down. Willie done put a couple of lumps on every nigga's head. Willie lump. And it's crazy. So here we got guns at camp, like a rap, like an NWA record. When the NWA came out in what, 88, 89, whatever. Boys in the Hood, Eazy-E. Y'all remember that when it came out? That shit came out, right? First there was Too Short. And everybody's like, Too Short. Here we are, we're writing music, being creative, going back to Earth, Wind, and Fire and Ohio Players, and you know. And then they say, oh, make a beat with da-dun, dun, da-dun, dun, da-dun, dun, da-dun, dun. That's better than this one. It's crazy. That was a crazy time in music. It was crazy. Slucky. We try to come out of some of these garments. I overdressed. The sun is beaming. It's beautiful. So niggerdom was being raised up. And niggas loved it. Guess what? I hate rap music. Now, let me say this. You know what? You know what rap song I like a lot? Rapper's Delight. You know why? Because it's Good Times by Chic. Right? They stole the beat. Right? It's not a beat. That's a song. It's a well-crafted, well-written song, well-recorded. And what do? They took the vocals out, right? And they rapped over the top of it. And it was brilliant. It was brilliant. You know why? Because there was Good Times. It was right there. The playing was there. They stuck a little intro. That was okay too. But then Good Times. Good Times was a hit before anybody rapped one rap to Good Times. Good Times was a world hit. International world hit. These are the good times. Boom, 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 boom. Right? It was brilliant. And that's where rap came from. It came from brilliantly written songs songs, not a beat. Oh, let me get that beat. Beat. A nigga would come up to me, I got songs without lyrics yet. Hey, let me get that beat. I'm like, beat? Nigga, I don't make beats. I write songs, nigga. It would offend me when somebody would come up and say, let me get that beat. That beat. Well, first of all, that's a song, right? To write a beat, nigga, you need one finger and two notes. And a lot of repetition. Dun, 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 dun. Is that 3 notes? 2.5. No, rap, nigga, came from R&B, soul. What is R&B? A nigga don't know what R&B. Not only does a nigga not know, a hip hop nigga, a hip hop nigga don't know that R&B means rhythm and blues. Rhythm and what? Blues. What's the difference between rhythm and blues and rock and roll? Here's a trivia question for a hip hop head. Well, hip hop is a way of life. Nigga, so was the blues in the 40s. Okay? Rhythm and blues is the black name for rock and roll. Rock and roll is rhythm and blues, but for white people. When they came and they stole it, let's see, who are the biggest rock and roll acts? Okay? The Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Yeah? And that's from England. All right? The first record that the Beatles recorded was all blues tunes written by so-called black artists. Their first record was all covers of black artists. The Beatles, the greatest rock and roll band that ever, blah, blah, blah. And then the Rolling Stones, same thing. What were they doing? Elvis Presley. That's all right, mama. Did you watch that video? That movie? The last Elvis movie? Elvis, rock and roll. Oh, Elvis Presley was a hero the most, but he never been shit to me. Right? Elvis, the king of rock and roll, right? Go watch the movie. Then understand that Elvis was clearly a Jake. What they did in the movie, it's clear, right? It's clear that Elvis was a Jake. His daddy was a Jake. His daddy got caught hustling, right? White boys hustle too, yeah, nigga, they do. Daddy went to jail. Sounds like a Jake. Elvis and them had to go live in the hood with Negroes. Sounds like a Jake. Elvis electrifies white audiences like a Jake. Elvis gets banned for being a nigga like a Jake. Elvis becomes the king of rock and roll. When you go watch it, you begin to understand, right? If you're spiritual at all, Elvis was a Jake. If Elvis is the king of rock and roll and he's a Jake, is rock and roll white boy music? How did Elvis become Elvis? By doing Jake music. By doing Jake music so well, while people thought he was a white boy, he was what they call passing. Okay? Is it Jake that was passed? Rock and roll is rhythm and blues. They changed the names of them. Okay, and when you watch that Elvis movie, they bring out the rope, right? They bring the rope out, Negroes on this side, white over here. See, a lot of you don't understand that at all. You don't understand. Okay? I bet a nigga don't want to do a battle rap with Eminem though. Get your baddest so-called black battle rapper. I bet you that motherfucker don't want to do a battle rap with Eminem. I bet you he don't. Because he will get clowned. The nigga knows it. Might be stupid enough to get in the ring, but he like this, that one, no. I'm not trying to get clowned. I'll probably get a strike for that. Copyright. Why? Why does the Negro not want to go heads up with Eminem? Why? Well, because he'll get clowned. Not because he understands he's a Jake. Not because of that. A little leaven, okay? What time are we in right now? We're in the time of purging that little leaven. Hey, what's coming up? Faster than you know. The Passover's coming up faster than you know. What are you supposed to do in that week? That week before the Passover, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to get all that leaven out of the house. Passover right now is coming faster than I've ever seen it come before. Everybody knows it. House cleaning started already, right? The purge, the Passover purge started like December 30th of last year. The Passover purge already started. So how much quicker are these days going by right now? They're going by pretty quick. So the Passover is almost here. And the purge already started. Okay? And what are you supposed to do? With the Passover comes, you're supposed to get that leaven. You're supposed to find all the leaven in your house. You're supposed to start getting it out of there. Why? So you don't make a mistake. So you don't slip up and hit that stumbling block. We're in the time right now of purging that little leaven. It could be one thing. It could be the MOTB being the C hit, which it is. You know how many people are gonna fail? Right there. You got You got Israelite camps, some of the biggest ones, right? Doing what? Telling you that it's okay. Don't worry. Yeah, and Esau might slide in a little see here, but that ain't the MOTB. Have you ever seen anything more slick? Almost like, see, when you're on this side of that, when you don't have a 501c3 and you haven't been threatened by your slave master to not only, do you know what this devil can do? Once you sign a deal with it, right? Guess what? A 501c3, you know what? That's like a record deal. In religion, a 501c3 is like a record deal. Once you sign that record deal, your company can tell you, look, I know you wrote these songs, but you're going to record these songs. We got some fine writers, and you're a pretty good writer yourself, but these writers over here, guess what? I own their publishing. I own yours too, but I'm gonna make you record these songs, right, to enrich myself, to put a hedge about me. Okay. So a 501c3, it clearly states, well, here's what you are going to preach and here's what you're not going to preach. You're not going to say the name Yahawashai. You're not going to use the name Yahweh. You go around that. Otherwise, I can come and get you. And when I come and get you, here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to leave you standing there. I'm going to go get your son. I'm going to go get your wife. I'm going to set you up, R. Kelly. Bill Cosby. I'm going to set you up. OJ. I'm going to set you up and make you look real bad. Michael Jackson. Okay. I'm going to set you up. Make you look real bad. Why? Because you signed a deal with me that says you weren't going to touch these subjects, the name, the C-hip. So here's what I see. This guy wiggling, right? You know that you're in a straitjacket. You know you can't push the C-hip. You signed off on it. Why would the devil do that? Why would the devil say no C-hip? Why would it? Because the C-hip is the MOT to the B. That's why. So what do we have now? First we had, ain't no microchips. First we had that. Now what do we have? Well, Esau might come with a microchip. What? Is that a little, you trying to, knowing that your arms are tied, right? Knowing you're in a straitjacket, is that you trying to warn the people? That statement, Esau might come with a microchip, but that's not the mark of the beast. What scripture comes to mind? Let's get a scripture. Or were you talking too much? This is 1 Corinthians 14 and 33. For the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. Nathaniel 7, Nate, Satan. You're sowing confusion. Ultimately, you're leading the sheep straight to the wolf. You're delivering them. There's some sheep in there. That's pure confusion. Well, Esau might come with a microphone, but that's not the MOT to the B. That's pure confusion. You might be knowing that you know you're going down. You know it. Anybody out there still saying at this late time, when you can't even get into Whole Foods without swiping something, what's the difference between tapping your C-hip that's on your card and passing your hand over the same terminal to get in, to buy, to sell? What do you do? What do you do today? Okay. Say I'm selling jewelry. I got a little jewelry stand, right? Lemonade, right? Out on the corner, or at the farmer's market, or at the Art Hop, right? It's Art Hop Thursday, and I set up my little jewelry booth because I'm making little jewels, right? Some little bracelets and shit. What do you do today? Okay. Oh, you don't have cash? Oh, well, I have my iPad right here, and you stick this little reader, in there. What am I doing? See, I have to go the back way to show you niggas how stupid you are. I'm selling my wares, not buying. Somebody else is buying. I'm selling. So I take this little reader out and I stick it in my phone, right? Right? Swipe, C-hip, or NFT. What is NFT on your phone? I'm selling jewelry. They want to know about it. They want to track everything. How many times you went to the bathroom, when you're having sex, what you sold. If you sell something, somebody bought it, somebody sold it. Here's the selling part. Well, you ain't sold, you bought a nigga, a dumbass fucking step and fetch it ass nigga, can't put that together. Well, that's just going to the store, you're buying, you're not selling. Somebody's selling. If you're buying, somebody's selling. Whether it be Whole Foods with a terminal there that reads your C-hip, whether it be an Israelite man striving for perfection who has an oil table in 1992 on 51st, not sure where they were. Right? What are they doing with the oils at the oil table? Are they giving them away? Well, fast forward to today. If you got an oil table out on 51st, this ain't 92. This is 2023. What are you going to have? You're going to have a phone. You're going to have a card reader. The newest card reader that you don't even swipe no more. This card reader, you're going to either stick the C-hip on your card in there, and it's going to read the C-hip. What am I doing? I'm selling. Somebody's buying with what? The C-hip. Somebody's selling with what? The C-hip. I got the reader. You got the C-hip. Come on, everybody. Let's get brass monkey. That funky monkey. Nigga. Ba, 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 ba. That funky monkey. Brass monkey junkie. That funky monkey. Hell, that was Amalek. Or was it? Or was it? Paul's Boutique wasn't bad. Now, let's put the shoe on the other foot. Show me how you can buy and sell with sin. Show me that. Show me a scenario of buying and selling with sin. Explain that. See, this is the time that we're in. We're in the time that if you're fucking so stupid that you let a nigga run you into the ditch as he enriches himself, it should be pretty simple. Here it is. Look at these costumes. You niggas look like Earth, Wind, and Fire right now. Here it is. Maurice White is dead. Freddie just died. Right? Verdine is the only one. Verdine is the only one still doing what he's doing. Right? They're still touring. Philip Bailey's still out there. But you know what? They're out there in suits, maybe. They don't even wear the Power Rangers. They don't even do the Power Ranger thing. They left that to Nate. Nate is he's the most visible Power Ranger out there right now. Hey, this dude done surpassed the Discomforter, right? This dude done went famous. You know what? You know what he's working on right now? I'm saying this in the spirit, right? And I'm half joking. This guy is looking at planes, right? He's looking at a plane on some Creflo Dollar shit. You think he's not? You think they haven't went and looked at planes? A Soul plane? A Mount Zion? A God, Most High in Christ Bless Express? Huh? You think not? How simple is it? Let's see. Who's closer to Creflo? The Elder Apostle Tahar or Bishop Nate? Who's closer to Creflo? T.D. Jakes. Does T.D. Jakes have a jet? I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. Right? Who's closer to T.D. Jakes? Money, fame, and fortune. Okay? Guess what? Bishop Nate's famous now. He made it. Bishop Nate is a rock star. Let's put it like that. I watched the Elvis movie. Guess what? Elvis got a plane. It's in the 70s. I need a plane. Right? This guy's doing interviews. People want him to be booking interviews. Like a rock star. Right? Here it is. This guy is a rock star. Jam Master Jay was a rock star, right? Everybody knew about him. That nigga went straight down. Because what was he doing? He's leading the people astray. Why did he go down? Because the devil took him down? No. Most High took him down. How and what? First of all, the devil put him in place. And then what did the nigga do? And he got a mind of his own. He went off script. The nigga went off script and they spanked him. Right? That's what happened. Right? Now, who's on script? Let me tell you who's on script. We gave you the fame. They gave Jam Master Jay that NFAC. They gave him that fame. He was famous. The world knew about it. Why did he go to prison? Because he went off script. He started feeling himself. He said, look, nigga, we didn't put you there to start a revolution. We put you there to gain information. You've achieved that. Now we're gonna yank your cord because you think you running the programming war off. You overstepped your boundaries. Okay. Now, see, here's how things work. Now, did the Most High put Nate in that position? He did. But what is Nate missing? The name. How come if this was of the Most High, which he did do it, but he did it for what? Hey, the ditch is wide. The ditch is the wide road. You're supposed to take the narrow road, the straight and narrow, not the wide gate, the ditch, right? The blind is going to lead the blind into a big old ditch, and a lot of people are going to fall therein, okay? How do we know that Nate ain't that guy? The name. Why did the Most High not put the name in Nate Smith? Why did he not do that? Here it is. Okay. And then you have the Elder Apostle Tahar, who's got the name all in his mouth. They're not going to make him famous. They're going to make the guy who is not going to exalt the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, they're going to make him famous. Right? Right? Well, there he is. No name and no C-hip. There he is. Follow him. Where? Into that wide gate, the ditch. It's real simple. Where's the straight gate? Where's the position of difficulty? Who goes out? Let me tell you where the elder apostles are right now. Okay? Well, uh, the elder apostle Gabar is going like this. Right? He's out there. It's probably cold out there. They got on some goose downs. Elder Apostle's right. Elder Apostle Tahar is right next to him, shifting, staying warm, staying on their feet. You know how hard it is to stand on your feet at 60 for a couple of hours? You know how hard that is? Knees all fucked up. I bet you Nate ain't doing that. I bet you Johanna ain't doing that. What does straight mean? Enter ye in at the straight gate. It means difficult. This is what it means right here. They know they got to go out. The elder apostles know they got to go out. They know it. Why? Well, they got to set an example. What are they doing? They're giving diligence to make their calling and election sure. They're out there going like this. You know how hard it is? It's hard for me to do this right now because this knee right here, I got to start. I got to lay them hands on. I tried it a little bit and then fell on my face. Smooth fell on my, missed a step going down the stairs. It fell smooth on my face yesterday. Salakia, checking this camera to no avail. I can't even read it. I can't see shit. Okay, whatever. Matthew 7 and 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate. Strait. For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. On Broadway, they say the neon lights are bright. On Broadway. Right? Broadway Nate. That's his name. On Broadway. That nigga got the neon light. Go watch a IUIC video. Okay? It starts out with horns and shit heralding what? And then the it's like watching the evening news with all of the graphics. Right? Broadway Nate. You read it again. Matthew 7 and 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate. That's the elder apostle Tahar. No fanfare. I'm going to put this one up raw. No music behind it. It's just, what does he have? He's got one thing in production. He's got the Great Millstone. Right? That's good enough. That's not Broadway. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way. They say that neon lights are bright on Broadway. You see how that works? On Broadway. Broadway Nate. And broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. And many there be which go thereat. See, so that's that old Quaker. Let me break it all the way down. Let's go to Good News. Good News Translation, Matthew 7 and 13. Go in through the narrow gate, because the gate to hell is wide, and the road that leads to it is easy. The easy way. Easy like Sunday morning. And there are many who travel it. What's easy? Well, when's the last time you seen Nate shifting? Right? Just him and Deacon, what's his name? Just both of them. And then one other deacon behind the camera. Right? When's the last time you saw that? No production. Right? A rough garment. And a goose down because it's cold. In season and out of season. Can you produce that video? Can you produce that lesson? Can you produce that camp video? Can't do it, man. Can't do it. God's Word Translation. Enter through the narrow gate, because the gate and the road that lead to destruction are wide. Many enter through the wide gate. Yeah, man. You got to know who you're following, of whom you learn. Second Timothy 3 and 14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. Salakia, let me read up on that. 2 Timothy 3 and 2 Timothy 3 and 10. But thou hast fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long suffering, charity, patience, persecutions, afflictions, which came unto me at Antioch and Iconium, at Lystra, what persecutions I endured, but out of them all the Lord delivered me. Yea, and all that will live godly in Hamashiach Yahushai shall suffer persecution. Right? What happened at the house of David's school? That's evil, Tar. But evil men, here we are. Here we go. Here comes Nate, Johanna, right? Bubble Eye Blackfish, Mike the Hamite, what are the names? Salakia. What is it? Got Bubble Eye Blackfish, Nate Satan, General Gehenna, Mike the Hamite, which I don't know, Mike the Hamite. You got God, I forgot this guy. You got the Seattle Snake. I love the Seattle Snake. That's probably my favorite name. The Seattle Snake. Salaki. Second Timothy 3 and 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. If that is not Nate, if that's not Nate, I don't know who is. Anybody that can say, well, if you would have listened to what I said, moron. Here it is, you're in a conversation, and the Benjamite is breaking you off and breaking you down. You smiling like a Cheshire cat, like I don't even, it's just crazy. It's all on film. It's all on film. I want to do a diligent search and get all of the instances where this guy is changing from one day to another. Okay? But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. That thing right there. Okay? How many different things has this guy said that the MOTB was? Well, it's sleeping with white women. It's an embargo. Right now it's sin. That's the new one. Let's get given a change. Proverbs 24 and 21. My son, fear thou the Lord and the king, and meddle not with them that are given to change. There ain't no Jacob's trouble. Well, if you would have listened to what I was saying, moron. Nigga, you change like the wind. Okay? Why you always getting on Nate? Right now, it's not me getting on Nate. It's the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai getting on Nate. You got to use Nate as an example, right? You got to rebuke them sharply. Anybody that's in IUIC, the Broadway days, you got to pay for that. Do you know the cost of living on Broadway? Ain't no microchips. It's June. We in June. It's June. Ain't no microchips. A microchip is something that you put in a dog when that's a location. What is it? What did he say? It's a tracking device, right? The plethora of things that were said, right, to dissuade or to distract you, right, to encourage you that this is not what John the Baptist saw on the Isle of Patmos. What did he see? Did he see he saw sin? First of all, he knew that we all sin and fall short. So he saw himself buying and selling with sin. It makes zero sense. How do we know we have the mark of the beast? You know when you're in that damn line. We're in a chipping station line. That's when you know. Who came? Salakia. Salakia, bear with me. This is 2 Peter 3 and 3. Now listen closely to the wording. All right? Knowing this first. Gotta know this. You know what? Let me look at it. Let's get it here. Bear with me. Second. Okay. 2 Peter 3 and 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers. That word scoffer means false teacher, walking after their own lust. That would be Nate. Clearly. Right now, Nate is giving a step-by-step slide under his greatest hit ever that was called Ain't No Microchip. He slid in that, hey, Esau might come with a mic. That's night and day. Ain't no microchip. That's a definitive statement. Cut and dry, point blank. Now, we're changing it up. We're changing the lyrics to that great song. Esau might come with a microchip. Okay? Meddle not with them that are given a change. He's changing up the lyrics. How are you gonna change up the lyrics to that hit? We think we're gonna appreciate the hit when you're changing up the lyrics? We gotta go back and write a whole new song. Right? No. And that's the first. As when the chipping stations pop up, the lyrics are going to change a little bit more. Okay? Now I'm going to read 1 Peter 3 and 3 in the King James again. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, meaning false teachers, walking after their own lusts. Is Nate not walking after his own lusts? He wants to be that guy. Look at the pictures on the videos. Look at the thumbnails on the pictures. Look at the mock-ups. The new depiction of Yahushua came out. The brother in the white, got the white, snow white hair, right? Awesome picture. Guess what? I could pull up 6 of Nate that are on that level, comparing to the depiction of Yahushua. I'm like, if I was new in this truth, I'd be like, is that? Look at Yahushua. You understand? You're clearly exalting yourself. You know what comes with exalting yourself? The funky abasement. That funky ass abase. They go hand in hand. Let's read some different versions. 2 Peter 3 and 3 in the NIV. Above all, you must understand that Nate is coming in the last day. Above all, you must understand that in the last days, scoffers will come, scoffing and following their own evil desires. NLT. Most importantly, you hear those words, you can't just gloss over them. Most importantly, this is very, very important. Hey, your salvation is at stake. Are you following the wrong person? Most importantly, what? I want to remind you, because you might You might forget. This is most important. Let me remind you. Most importantly, I want to remind you that in the last days, where are we? Here we are. We can see, hey, the prophecies. What's the name? What's the title for the new year? We're looking for hastening the end. The hopeful year that all the prophecies come to pass. The end, the last days. Here we are. I want to remind you, most importantly, I want to remind you that in the last days, scoffers, meaning false teachers, will come. Where? Where are they? Well, what are the criterion? I want to remind you that in the last days, scoffers will come, mocking the truth. Ain't no microchip. It's June. Ain't no microchip. I thought he was going to say microchip. Thank God. Sin. Okay. I thought he was going to say microchip. Mocking the truth. Check. And following their own desires, their own lusts. What is the root of all evil? The love or the lust of money. Fine garments, a jet, marching around the Staples Center. That's his desire. Fame, fortune. In the last days. What does it mean the last days? The last days of Esau's kingdom. Shouldn't he be doing what the elder apostles doing? Hey, I don't give a damn about no money. It's all the truth. The reason he can't say the MOTB is the C-hip is because of that money. He's lusting after money. He's lusting after money. Sorry. It is what it is. Mocking the truth. Is he not doing that? Hey, the MOTB is the C-hip. What is he doing out there on a rock? Hey, there's the name. It's mocking the truth. Show me the elder apostle Tahar mocking the truth. Bring out a video. No, there's plenty of footage of this guy fulfilling prophecy. It says, scoffers will come. That scoffers will come in the last days with scoffing, following their own sinful desire. The love of money, lusting after wealth and planes. Scoffers. Mockers, mocking, mockers. Scoffers. Scoff. Contemporary English version. But first you must realize that in the last days, some people won't think about anything except their own selfish desires. They will make fun of you. The Bumalites, the Bum King. Alex Jones, conspiracy theory. deceitful scoffers. Blatant scoffers. Okay, now I'm going to see 2 Peter 3 and 3. I'm going to go to the blue letter. So lock it, bear with me. All right, so I'm in the blue letter. In Pikedace. Okay, and you go, I'm in 2 Peter 3 and 3, and the word scoffer, scoffers, in Pikedace, right, is the Greek. Let's listen.
Strong's G 1703, Empiktes. Empiktes.
In Pikedace, right? In Strong's definitions. Okay. A derider. I.e. by implication. A false teacher. So this word, scoffer, in this precept, the word scoffer means a false teacher, pursuant to the Blue Letter Bible in the Concordance. You can look it up. All right? A false teacher. Scoffer, it says, Strong's definitions, Empiktes, a derider, i.e. by implication, a false teacher, mocker, scoffer. A false teacher. So when we go back, and we'll read NLT. Most importantly, I want to remind you that in the last days, false teachers will come, mocking the truth and following their own desires, making money, promotional team, PR team, right? Interviews, traveling. What do you have to, in order to travel, right? Don't you need a passport? Nate is probably a passport bro, right? And I'm kidding, right? That's just a little humor. But you got to have a passport. What do you need to get a passport? Your shot's got to be in order to get a passport and get on a plane and go to Africa. Right? That ain't the MOTB either, right? That ain't. And neither is the C hit, but it's sin. Sticking a needle in your arm is sin, right? How do you get a tattoo? By sticking a needle in your arm. Are tattoos sin? Why? Because you stick a needle in your arm. That's sin. So you got the mark. If you took the little vitamin B1, right? You took the mark, right? Ain't that sin? You're gone. How do you know you got it? Well, did you get a tetanus shot? Did you get any shot ever? We all did when you were a kid. You came out in the delivery room, they stuck a needle in your foot, and you got the MOT to the B. Come on, man. Walking after their own lust. Let me look for something here. Bear with me. Walking after their own lust, right? This is 1 Timothy, and we're going to end it on this, all right? 1 Timothy 6 and 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, walking after their own lust, which drown men in destruction and perdition. Good News Translation. But those who want to get rich fall into temptation and are caught in the trap of many foolish and harmless desires, which pull them down to ruin and destruction. See, when you're lusting after money, Let me give you an example. This is lusting after money, and it being noised abroad. 2 words. The pocket. We all know who the pocket was, right? The pocket is gone. The pocket. It's kind of funny how things just kind of materialize. The pocket. Right? Remember that? Some people don't fear Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Don't let it be you. We're in the last days. You got false teachers out here lusting after their own desires. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. We made it. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. The pocket. Right? The pocket was a secret thing until it came out. Now we know. You add all of those things up together, and what do you get? Lust of money. Walking after their own lusts. It should be really easy. We're at the end. It should be easy to see who to be following and who not. A lot of you are going to wind up in that wide ditch, following after that money. Can't take it with you. You're going to have all the money you need in the kingdom, but you want a little bit right now at the end of it. That's crazy. Say, Philippians 2 and 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. For it is the Most High which worketh in you both to will and to do of His good pleasure. Do all things without murmurings and disputings, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world. Okay? As lights. All right, so with that, we say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, the elder bishops of GMS, all the brothers out pushing the word, truth, and sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. All right, Shalom.